Good afternoon, what is doing today? We have a sub request by Ramranch18 for the Hurricane Mark IV. Now, he didn't specify if this was for Air RB or Ground RB, but to be fair, we've never took this thing into Air RB as far as I remember, at least. It's mainly been Ground RB. And you all already know my opinions on the Hurricane and how it's a bit crap in Ground RB. Obviously, if it's put in its own BR, it's actually pretty okay. But I just feel there's better options, at least in this day and age. So, obviously, being an RRB, we're going to need as much firepower as we can, so I'm taking the 40mm Vickers S cannons. These were originally anti-tank guns, but we're using them as anti-aircraft guns, because why the hell not? This thing does get an air target belt, which has a pretty decent explosive charge, and is actually pretty similar to the 2-pounder's explosive charge, which is quite funny. And of course, if need be, we can take... I don't know why it's a gun pod like that. But we can take bombs, we can take rockets, but it's extremely unlikely we're going to be using that. And then, of course, we have a pair of 7.7s backing us up as well. And just overall, the Hurricane Mark IV is obviously going to be heavier, so we're not going to be as agile. It's got more armor plating, which in some cases it can protect. But in most cases, like this 4.7mm of steel, it's not going to be really doing a lot. But we at least get some protection, so that's at least something. And of course, the engine, pretty much the same. We get a bit more horsepower in this one. But yeah, the extra weight is really going to hold us back. And obviously, with the Vickers S being quite heavy itself, this is going to make quite a bit of a difference to the aircraft. And hopefully, we shouldn't suffer too badly. But being at 2.3 isn't too bad. As long as we don't get it up tier, we should be okay. Anyway, let's get in and let's get cracking. It is definitely an aircraft that I don't tend to use very much. And it's not really a plane I would take into RRB quite comfortably, because I don't really do it. I did it when I spaded it about, well, 4 years ago, I think this thing came out, but I digress. Anyway, I'll see you all in the first match. And about 30 seconds later, we get our first match on a map that might actually favour us, so to speak. What's the minimum fuel? 17 minutes. We're definitely taking that. We need as much weight saving as possible. It's like stripping out a Mini. You gotta make sure you take seats out, take the freaking fabric and all that. You gotta take as much off as you can in a Mini. And even though the Mini's light as hell, you still gotta give it some weight reduction. Because that extra horse per ton does make a difference in the case of a Mini. I should know, I played Gran Turismo and there was like an online race where you had like you could use Mini Coopers, like the classic ones from like 1965, and not everyone decided to weight reduction it because they thought, oh, the Mini weighs like 600 kilo, you don't need to weight reduction it. So I walk in with my maxed out Mini and pretty much just smoke the competition because I've got the power to weight ratio. Needless to say, I didn't make any friends that day, but you know. What was even better is I had a British flag on the back, so not only did they get smoked by a modified Mini, they also got smoked by a Brit driving it, so I think that's even better. Alright, so we've got a bunch of DB7s, which I'm fine with, I like that. Okay, there we go. Looks like they're all fighting to get bases and stuff, which is fine. So yeah, this map actually does favour us quite a bit, because obviously our air spawn does come in handy. Like, we're not the best climbing aircraft, I'm going to say that right now. This thing's actually quite poor in terms of its climb rate. Its turn rate is alright. It's not what you would call normal Hurricane level, but it's good enough to the point where I can go, yeah, I can dogfight people with this. But it's not what you'd call the most maneuverable on the battlefield. Like, right now, we are probably the most agile aircraft in the sky, bar the Zeros. And the Ki-43s. The Hawks as well will be in trouble. But even so. We'll fire a quick 40mm burst. Nope. They don't. Right, might have some cronies coming our way. Now, the flaps aren't very good on this thing. Well, they are, but they're not useful in the fact that... There we go. That's him being collapsed. Job done. Okay, next target. King Cobra's damaged, so that's fine. I'm going to go for this F4U, I think. Yeah, honestly, this thing's air spawn may not seem like a lot on paper, but it does make quite a big difference. That I will say. Like, it's not what you would call, like, the best climbing aircraft at this BR. Far from it. But the simple fact of the matter is you have decent maneuverability to take on most aircraft at this BR. Now, obviously, down there is a swarm, which I really don't want to get stuck into. And booming and zooming is not really this plane's dominant aspect, so I'm going to wait for a bit of backup, I think. Corsair appears to be pitching up, which is fine. He did have a lot of speed on, so hopefully we can bounce him as he goes into this loop over here. Yeah, he's just going to do that. That's fine. He's picking his speed up. Looks like he's trying to get his teammates' attention. Because, yeah, we have an RA-2000 in the area, so we're going to hopefully use him for a bit of bait. Because it appears they are not being very smart. Hello, Mr. Corsair. You're the most dangerous aircraft out of this lot. Thank you. And Mr. Yak. Thank you. Keeping our speed on, and we're just going to keep on going. Bait for the Yak. Well, not the Yak, the RA-2000. We're obviously not going to outrun a Yak, but that's not my point. We're agile enough to at least dodge him. Whoops. Ah, I just missed. Ow, he nicked me there, but that's okay. I overcommitted in that turn, so that's fair enough. I've been able to help my teammate, and we've been able to get ourselves a couple of kills. So that's at least something. A6M2N is currently ripping this MiG-3 a new bomb-hole, but not quick enough. So we're going to dodge out of the way. There goes him. So there's not many left. There's the B-34. There's... what else? Meme John. I didn't see what he was flying. I'm going to take a quick look. Meme John we're looking for. J-22A. And then the other two are bombers. I think one was a B-18A, so we're definitely going to need the 40 mils for that. There's the J-22. I see the B-34 taken off, so that's fine. We can climb up and deal with that. We're agile enough to deal with the J-22. So, we're doing pretty okay. Like, me and the Russian geezer, we're on 3 kills with each. We're doing pretty well. We know where most of their team are remaining. I think we've got this in the bag, but, well, don't want to jinx it, so to speak. But yeah, like, you can do this in a Hurricane Mark 4. It's just, Gaijin gives the 2D. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as well armored as the 4. Like, we could have a little bit of weight reduction. You know, like, it'd be nice, because we haven't had a new Hurricane in the game for many, many, many years. The last Hurricane added to the game, I think, was this, or the 2C. I don't remember. It looks like the J-22's runway camping, and the B-34 looks like he's going to try and join him. Well, let's put this armor plate into the test. Rudder's playing me up here. Thank you. And he's just hit our engine with a 50 cal, which that does go for the armor plating. Ow, 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 ow. Don't shoot me. I'm just a plucky Brit flying a freaking Hurricane. I should be playing this for the Battle of Britain theme, but we'll gloss over that. It's a dumpster burn, Harry's favourite bomber. It's not. Don't ever give him that bomber as a request, you'll just get roasted the entire video. Trust me, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. and also the roasting. We can get this plane back, so I'm not too worried about that. The engine is damaged, but the Merlin's a tough old engine, so it is definitely, well, it wasn't tough IRL, but in-game it's surprisingly tough. But yeah, let's go back. I think we're going to grab some rockets and go for some ground targets this time. I would love to get the ace, but given that we've got a dumpster burn in space, which will take me forever to get to, and a runway camping J-22, yeah, I think I'll go with that option. So I'll go grab some rockets or bombs, depending on what I decide to pick, and I will see you all in a few minutes. Well, welcome back to the hangar. Unfortunately, by the time I took off, the game was over. Let's see what we get out of this battle trophy. Hopefully it's not what I think it'll be. Go on, give me it. Oh, you son of a bugger. I would have loved an extra 1 million. I mean, I don't need it, because I've got like 27 million, I think. 25 million, because I put the expert crew on this thing and it dropped me below 26. Woo. But, you know. I did end up taking the bombs, but it didn't matter. By the time I got wheels up, the game was over. So, there we go. I think that was a pretty good run. Like, yeah, we could have definitely managed our speed better against a B-34, but like I said, on a map like that, you really don't have to care about engine damage. It's only if the engine is completely knackered is when you have to worry, but still, I think the Hurricane did quite alright there. We definitely did our fair share of work. And yeah, whilst I don't recommend this in a 3.3 match, like going fighter mode, if you're in like a 3.0, 2.7 match, and top dog, of course, definitely give this a go. Just don't do it 3.3 matches, you'll get your ass handed to you very, very quickly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing your sub request today, Ramranch, and I will see you all on the next one.